Namaskar friends, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India. And in India Things today, I will speak to you how China is trying to play a global peacemaker. And in a way, it is a major challenge now for India. I will explain that how. Friends, on 22nd July in Beijing, the leaders of the Palestinian organizations Hamas and Fatah signed a statement pledging to end division and strengthen unity, and accepting the Palestinian Liberation Organization PLO as the sole representative of the Palestinian people, mediated by China. Remember, the political leadership of the Palestinian terrorism has historically been a point of contention for the two factions. Now, who are PLO, Hamas and Fatah? Let me tell you, major political organizations in the Palestinian territories, the West Bank and the Gaza Strip are Hamas and Fatah, while the Fatah leads the Palestinian Authority, which is in charge of some of the areas of West Bank, and Hamas control Gaza. The majority of the West Bank is governed by Israel. This also follows another agreement that China mediated between Saudi Arabia and Iran, two competitors in the area, in 2023. China has made an effort to contrast itself with the United States in the Middle East and present itself as a trustworthy ally. Its considerable economic power also enables it to establish trade links that support diplomatic ties. China's strategic push to position itself as a global peacemaker poses a complex challenge for us like India. Intertwining issues, regional dominance, economic influence and diplomatic leverage. And if we understand these dynamics, then we can know that this is crucial for India as it navigates its own path on global stage. And one of the primary challenges arises from the ongoing geopolitical rivalry and regional dominance. China's assertive territorial claims and military activities along the line of actual control (LAC) with India have resulted in frequent stand-ups and skirmishes. The 2020 Galwan Valley clash is a stark reminder of the potential for conflict. As you know, China portrays itself as a peacemaker globally. Its aggressive posturing towards India undermines regional stability and complicates bilateral relations. And furthermore, China's growing influence in South Asia through economic and military aid to countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Nepal challenges India's traditional sphere of influence. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC), that is a flagship project of the Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), not only violates India's sovereignty claims in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, but also it establishes a strategic foothold for China in the region. Economic coercion and development competition add another layer of complexity. China's BRI, while marketed as the developmental initiative, often leads to significant debt for participating countries, and this economic leverage can be used to exert political influence that directly impact India's neighbors. For instance, Sri Lanka's Hambantota port leased to China for 99 years due to debt repayment issues. That highlights the strategic implications of such investments. India has launched its own connectivity projects such as the International North-South Transport Corridor (INSTC) and the Asia-Africa Growth Corridor to counterbalance the BRI. However, China's financial muscle and rapid project execution often outpace India's efforts, making it challenging for India to offer viable alternative to its neighbors and other global partners. Diplomatic leverage and multilateral influence further complicate the scenario. China's increasing role in United Nations peacekeeping and its assertiveness in international organizations enhance its image as a global peacemaker, and this allows China to put its agenda and norms sometimes at odds with India's interests. Now, I will tell you one example that China's stand on the designation of terrorist in the UN Security Council has often conflicted with India's efforts to address cross-border terrorism from Pakistan. And moreover, China's leadership in multilateral forums like BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organizations can overshadow India's contributions and priorities. While these platforms offer India opportunities for engagement, China's dominant position can steer the agenda in directions that may not always align with India's strategic interests. And in terms of soft power and global image, China's investments in global media, cultural exchanges and educational initiatives helps it shape the narrative about its role as a peacemaker. India's soft power, while significant, needs further implications to counter China's well-funded campaigns also. Competing in the realm of global perception is crucial for India to ensure its perspective is adequately represented. And additionally, China's provision of aid during global crises such as COVID-19 pandemic bolsters its image as a benevolent power. India's own efforts like the Vaccine Maitri initiative highlight its humanitarian contributions in international level. However, India must continuously innovate and expand its outreach to match China's extensive aid programs and enhance its standing as a global good Samaritan. Lastly, strategic autonomy and alliance building are pivotal in this context. India's principle of not aligning closely with any major power bloc faces challenges due to China's peacemaker rhetoric. Aligning too closely with US or other Western powers to counter China could impact India's independent foreign policy stance. And conversely, engaging with China requires careful navigation to avoid being overshadowed or outmaneuvered. India's participation in the quadrilateral security dialogue Quad with the US, Japan, Australia aims to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. However, China's diplomatic efforts to portray itself as a peacemaker in the region could undermine these efforts, complicating India's strategic objectives and partnerships. And in conclusion, one can say that China's bid to play the global peacemaker juxtaposed with its imperial designs presents a multifaceted challenge for India. While China's diplomacy and economic initiatives extend its influence, India must strategically enhance its own capabilities, partnerships, and global outreach to safeguard its interests and maintain its regional and global standing. By leveraging its democratic values, economic potential, and diplomatic agility, India can effectively counter China's narrative and assert its role as a responsible global player. That's all for today. Stay tuned with Uday India and subscribe to Uday India. Thank you.